Hello to all my loyal subjects. My name is Dr. Film, and yes, I'm qualified to be a king.
No way.
Who said that? Before we begin, you should know that this review will contain no spoilers.
Are you sure?
Okay, fine. There's gonna be some spoilers, but that's it, nothing more. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for reviews and more. And so, without further ado, let us begin reviewing Damsel.
Cast and characters.
And now, let us first discuss our main character, Princess Elodie, played by Millie Bobby Brown. And she was pretty generic. Now, don't get me wrong, I was very excited to see this actress in this movie, but as soon as we meet her character, she doesn't really stand out. She's neither boring nor intriguing. She's someone that makes you go, okay. But as soon as we see Elodie in danger of her life, that's when Millie Bobby Brown shines in this movie. You would feel her pain, her frustration, and anger. I mean, she nailed her role pretty well. As for the rest of the characters, they were pretty generic. Yeah, the king was generic, so was the stepmother, and that adorable little sister that you've seen before a million times. And don't get me started on the villains, especially the queen, played by Robin Wright. All she ever did in this movie was make these grand speeches about royalty, sacrifice, and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Come on, you guys, this is Robin Wright, who starred in Wonder Woman. And let me tell you, man, she was freaking awesome in that movie. And this is what you do with her character? Seriously?
Come on!
Yeah, I know.
Also, another thing that I have to point out is how the men were portrayed in this movie. Yeah, for some reason, the film makes it out of its own way to make all the male characters either greedy, cowardice, or straight up silent. Especially this guy, the supposed king of this whole evil cult. Like, who is he? He's just standing there right next to the queen. When's the last time he spoke? He just stands there and does nothing. Hello?
Hello. Not hello. Hello!
Hello? What?
What?
Huh?
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 Oh boy.
Action and visual effects.
Now you gotta give this film credit. Whenever the dragon appears on screen, that's when you feel the excitement and the adrenaline. Millie Bobby Brown does a great job making you feel like you're there with her. There are some cool action moments that won't leave your mind anytime soon. Although, the action sequences do become redundant as the film goes on. For instance, when Elodie first sees the dragon, she starts running. And when she sees the dragon again, she runs and gets to a safe spot. And she does that again, and again, and again. Whoop! Big climax! I wish the film added new obstacles, new challenges, new monsters inside the cave, besides the dragon. And speaking of the dragon in this film looks sick. You gotta give it to the filmmakers for creating such a realistic depiction of a dragon. It looked familiar, but new at the same time. But if I have to be honest, there are some moments where the CGI effects look pretty obvious. Especially with the green screens in the background. Yeah, there are some moments during the movie where you don't believe Millie Bobby Brown is in the cave with the dragon.
Great, that was fantastic.
Right.
The story.
The story in this film was pretty much generic. It didn't really offer anything new that we haven't seen before. And on top of that, there's this twist near the end of the movie that didn't caught me by surprise really. It was pretty obvious. So obvious that I picked it up from the beginning of the movie. Man, you guys, can you not be that obvious?
Yes!
And yes, in case you're wondering, the whole female empowerment message is in this story. Not that I'm against it or anything, it's just that the way they integrated it in this movie, it felt forced and uncomfortable to sit through. I mean, come on guys, do you really think it's a coincidence that the dragon happens to be a lady? Which I have no problem with that, except for one thing. Where is the husband? What happened to him? Did the film even bother explaining? Like, if she had no husband, then how the heck did she have babies?
I don't know.
That is an excellent question.
Overall, my friends, this movie is painfully average, but it's still quite entertaining. Yeah, it's pretty obvious at this point that the film has some issues. From the dialogue, the villain, the obvious green screen effects, and the not so clever twist near the end of the movie. But to be fair, there are some qualities in this movie that you might enjoy, such as Millie Bobby Brown's portrayal as Elodie, the thrilling action set pieces, and the CGI design of the dragon. But then again, this film is not exactly the greatest nor the worst. It's sort of a mixed bag for me, especially when you consider the obvious corporate agenda behind this movie. You can't deny, man, there were so many obvious signs that they were pushing for this film to be some sort of female empowerment. Ugh, Netflix, why? Why would you let this ridiculous notion drive this story? Why do you think Terminator Dark Fate failed miserably when it first came out?
Huh? Anybody? Do you know?
That's it! Okay, just to be clear, I'm not saying this movie is exactly like Terminator Dark Fate. I'm just saying it's almost like Terminator Dark Fate. Not all the way. Trust me, if this movie was like Terminator Dark Fate, we'd be having a different conversation right now. So yeah, despite its issues, I thought the film was entertaining, and it certainly wasn't a waste of my time. I would like to know what your thoughts are on this film. You can watch it on Netflix, and let me know what you think. With all that said, I give Damsel a 7.5 out of 10. Well guys, that's the end of my review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, and please follow me on Instagram for updates on my channel, and you can also follow me on TikTok for more fun videos and content. And as always, I will see you guys at our next appointment.